Hello, everyone. Juneteenth Day here in the United States. And June 19th is when legends are born. And I have one here with me today, Miss Trisha G. How are you, Trisha?
I'm really good. Thank you, Wayne. It's a little bit hot here today. I was just saying I'm melting a bit, so I need a fan.
Are you hot?
I am. Yeah, I meant to get the fan out. It is. Yeah, it's roasted. I shouldn't complain because we complain when it's cold, don't we?
Well, yeah, either way. So happy birthday to you.
Thank you, and happy birthday to you.
Oh, yeah, it is that. And thank you, everyone in the chat room. Brian, Michael, Brooke, how everyone.
Thank you, everybody.
This is a good day. Here in America, Trisha, June 19th is known as Juneteenth. And I thought I would give you a little history on this. Yeah. Juneteenth, also known as Juneteenth, Independence Day or Freedom Day, is an American holiday that commemorates the June 19th, 1865 announcement of the abolition of slavery in the United States and in the state of Texas, and more generally, the emancipation of enslaved African Americans throughout the former Confederacy. So I know this because when I grew up in the South, in Houston, Texas, hello, everyone from Houston, it is a holiday that is, I always enjoyed it because there was always barbecue, there was always lots of food, and it's well celebrated in the South. So I just thought I'd pass that by.
Yeah, I never knew that.
See?
I didn't know it was such a special day. And
it is a good day. You know?
Yeah, and ironic, we're both Life Path Nines, which is the humanitarian, and the fact it's about abolishing slavery. And yes, I've got quite a few friends that have got the same birthday as me, actually. That's really interesting. Really? Yeah. Another lady, she's a year younger than me, so I call her my twin. She's just a year younger, but it's today. I know there's Lisa Nick, I think it was Lisa Williams. She's a medium in America, but she's from Britain, and she's born the exact same day, same year, 70 miles up the road, and she's gone on to be like an international medium. So yeah, it just shows you.
See, I think dates really do. I mean, every person born has that special date.
Yeah, everybody's day is special. Yeah.
You know, I awoke this morning just I have some robins that, in case you don't know this, robins get up about 4 o'clock in the morning. It seems like they start tweeting about an hour before sunrise. So they've chosen the tree right outside our bedroom window. So I get to wake up to that. There are times when I would like to have a cage and take them away, but I thought about this. The fact that every one of us have made it through the birthright gives us something that's very unique, and that is usually the day we're born. What time of the day were you born, Trisha?
10:40 a.m.
Okay. Yeah, I was born at 12:29. So,
like lunchtime.
In the morning. Yeah, in the morning. So, and oddly enough, my dad, who was born on June 17th, he was born 20 years, 2 days, and 20 hours difference than I was.
Well, Lewis and I have the same. If you had a half birthday, it's exactly the same day because he's the 19th of December.
Ah, yes.
So all he has to remember is the month, and he still forgets.
Hello, Jerry. How are you doing? Matt Hatter, good to see you. Denise, good to see you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. This is interesting. For me, I'm approaching nearly 23,000 days on this planet. And I wonder sometimes, Trisha, if we looked at ourselves as days instead of years. Like, how long you been here, mate? I've been here about 27,000 days, and
I don't know how many days I've been here. I'll have to work it out.
Well, someone got a calculator out there? Come on, you guys.
I have to give my age.
Y'all can do this a lot faster than we can do this. That's for sure. And I was thinking this morning, it gives you time for reflection. This is the day that I came into this reality, Trisha. And I see now with our granddaughter, Lydia, in the pictures that we're sent all the time, I see something so much different now. I see this child with awareness and awe. And I was thinking this, I can't remember the moment I was born. Can you?
No.
No.
No. I have some memories of when I was like a toddler, but a lot of it until about age 6, I don't remember. But there are key moments that I do remember. Like about age 3, I remember quite a few things. But
Yeah. I started having conscious and awareness, a couple of years now. I've heard of some people, hello, warrior princess, that that there are some people who say they can actually remember the birthing process. Now, I don't know what that would be like. I got to say,
I don't think I'd want to remember.
But I think we should, that when you think about it, I mean, I keep thinking about this, Tricia. What point does consciousness become sentient for all of us?
I don't know. Because is it when we're in the womb? Is it as we take our first breath? I'm not sure. But I didn't open my eyes for a week, apparently. My mother thought there was something wrong with me. I didn't open my eyes.
I don't want to see this.
Yeah, I obviously didn't want. I had no fingernails and I had no eyelashes.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I was a bit of a stranger. I think she thought there was something seriously wrong because I wouldn't open my eyes, but I don't know. So there was something else about birthdays. I was been born then that I was going to say.
Well, I understood, as my wife has told me, that when we go through the vaginal canal, that it's actually preparing our bodies for this realm, this world. And I often wonder, is that really the point where all the triune being comes together? I don't know.
I mean, to me, it's such a miraculous thing, because like obviously I've only had one child, but if you think how your body just, the hormones kick in and your pelvis does expand and open to allow the baby out, because it just wouldn't come out. And it amazes me that and I've only had one, obviously, that they come out at all.
Yeah.
And then how when you have a normal birth, then the milk kicks in. It's but it's hormonal, it just kicks in. Whereas if you have C-section, that's why a lot of women have problems, because they haven't had and it's not their fault, but they haven't had the normal hormonal process.
And every time I think about the C-section, I keep on thinking Rome, Julius Caesar, that's how he was brought into this world. I've had many times, and I haven't done a video on this, but because I don't have the answer. I don't know. I don't have a vision of this, but is there a difference between a soul and a body that's birthed through what I call the rite of passage, which is through the vaginal canal, as to those who are brought in through the C-section? It's almost like you're getting a free pass. You don't have to go through that process.
I mean, I know for some people they have to have it because, it's a health reason, and it could be dangerous if they don't. But it's same with, if someone has to have forceps, or if it's very traumatic, it does affect the baby.
Well, here's something I've been wanting to talk to you about. So if a soul is born through a C-section, right? Is its destiny of date entering into this realm been altered? And would that alter eventually its destiny to whatever whatever that soul is supposed to accomplish in this realm?
Well, in a way, yeah, because say if naturally they would be born today, but they plan a C-section a week before or a week later, they're going to have different numerology. The way I believe, anyway, they'd have a different life path number. They'd have different birthday numbers. Their astrology would be different. Yeah. I'm not saying well, I don't run my life bit, but it's been pretty accurate. When I speak to people, they'll be like, "That's me," kind of thing.
No, I don't understand it. I don't understand the math. I don't understand the way that it works. But numbers obviously play a huge role, not only in this temporal realm, but everything that's immersed into it. Numbers seem to be the key pass. I mean,
In
to me,
everything.
yes, thank you. They're guideposts to me.
So say if we'd been born a day earlier, it would have been life path eights, which is the CEO, the boss, the manager. I would have probably, my mother's triple eight, I would have probably been more business, as in just about the money and the business, not about humanitarianism. It's
Mm-hmm.
being the CEO, the boss, building an empire, but it's all about wealth, not necessarily humanity, unless you've got maybe lots of other, maybe if you've got nines in your chart. So I would have probably been a very different person. You know, that's where me and my mother clashed, because she was trying to encourage me to be like her, and I was trying to encourage her to be a bit more like me. And eights and nines, unless, just giving this example because just one day earlier would make such a difference, you know,
Yeah.
or a week.
Think about that. I mean, I see when you were talking, what I see when we come into this realm, I see unlimited possibility and potential, but I do see shoots. I do see paths that we are set upon that begin to determine the path of life that we eventually follow.
Mm.
And I think that that is extremely um, relevant, that if a person's natural process, and as I was thinking, so the birthing process, as you well know, um, is one that requires something that I think is miraculous. How both this new life and the mother giving birth to this life, how there is this dance taking place.
Yeah, and I can even remember that they tell you that you'll know when to push. I'm not going to be graphic or anything. And I was sat thinking, but how am I going to know? I have no idea. Like, but your body just goes into like these huge contractions to push the baby out. It is, you'll never experience anything like it unless, obviously, the ladies that have had children. It overcomes you. You can't stop it once it starts. It's like this baby's coming out, you know.
You
And you
just
have this.
validated something for me, Trisha. You
It's
just go ahead
it
on.
just amazes me, the body, human body, where it just kicks in and it's like this baby's coming out with you. You're not stopping this now.
Isn't that, as you were saying, I was in another place, because I think you just described the death process as well.
Yeah,
Once it
maybe.
starts in the body will not stop until that is finished.
Mm,
Wow. So
yeah.
that's interesting, because, males, we have a terrible disadvantage because we have no idea what women go through in that birthing. And it's something that's, I was there
Well,
for.
they say it's the equivalent of breaking, I can't remember the figure now, but it's a lot of bones. It's the equivalent of breaking, somebody in the chat might know, it's the equivalent of breaking like many bones in your body all at once.
And you said that the body just naturally takes over. I have a question I'd like to ask. I've never asked this of, where is your mind at that point? As you said, is it that moment? Is there a fear threshold, and then you just simply nature begins the body processes take over, or what happens? I mean, I think that's an interesting part of that.
For me personally, all you're
Yeah.
focused on is pushing that baby out. Nothing else exists, you know. I just had gas and air. I didn't have any other drugs or anything, but yeah, all you're focused on is pushing that baby out. Personally, that's how I felt. I don't know about other people, but yeah, but it's coming. It's like it's almost like a tsunami that you're not stopping. It's quite interesting, and it's amazing anybody goes on to have any more children. But you do.
That's what I was going to say.
You do forget the
What?
pain, though. You do forget it.
That's the interesting thing about this journey we're on. The brain, the soul, the I think the registering consciousness, we don't remember pain.
I can't recall. I can remember the but I can't remember how painful it was.
I used to be plagued with kidney stones, and
Oh yeah, it's very similar apparently.
I remember I had one kidney stone attack, and my son looked at me and he looked over at his mother and said, "Who is that man?" You
Yeah,
know,
it's meant
because
to be very similar.
yeah, because when we've all been there. Hello, Brazil. How are y'all doing? Welcome. That pain can literally distort the body.
Mm.
And as you well know, have giving
Yeah.
birth.
Yeah. But you know what? Having my tonsils out was far worse.
Really?
Pain afterwards was worse than giving birth. Because the pain afterwards, yeah, you might be a bit sort of sore depending on your
Right.
experience, but you've got something. You're so overwhelmed with love, and well, I was unconditional love. You forget the pain, but when you have your tonsils out, there's no reward at the end.
There's no joy there, huh?
I was on painkillers for 3 weeks. My throat felt like, because they just, it's a bit graphic, but it was worse than giving birth, having my tonsils out.
Now you bring up a really interesting subject on tonsils. I still have mine, and they're now finding out that, it's one of those organs in our body that they can't figure out what it actually does.
Well, I thought they were supposed to filter out the, bugs and viruses and things.
Well, and then you have them removed, now that.
Well, mine were in such a
I know
bad
they
state.
were, yeah.
The surgeon said that they were not worth having because they're not doing their job, because they were so, I'm not going to go.
No, I get it. It's just like having your appendix moved.
But what I found, bringing it to like astrology, in Vedic astrology, my most karma that I hold is in my throat.
Ah.
Because you can, on the Cosmic Insights app that Heidi talks about, I put my details in, and I was like, it's going to be my throat. I know it, because I had situations happen with my throat and my tonsils. And then someone else I know, mine's 35% karma. I looked at Lewis's, he's got heart condition. His karma is in his heart chakra.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know fully enough there's a book that comes with it. You can study how it all works. But my main karma is my throat, and Lewis is his heart.
It just establishes very well that the fact is, if we learned these things as children, imagine the advantage that we would have in life.
I know. I mean, I was always interested in this stuff, but not to this level. And if you know, that's why I'm trying to teach Lewis as much as I can.
Now you're learning the gifting that you have in tarot cards too, right?
Yeah, yeah. He'd been out to watch England because it's the World Cup now, and he's went to watch England play Tunisia.
That's right, soccer. Yeah.
Yeah, so he came home a little bit sort of merry, let's say. He'd gone to bed, and he decides to get up, and he wanted some food. So I went to sort his food out, and then he gets on the live stream and starts doing a card reading for someone, and he sat there, no embarrassment. He sat in his boxer shorts. That's it, topless, doing card reading.
Hey, listen.
It was apparently pretty accurate.
I'm going to have Dr. Miller on Friday night. Last night, our program, just to let everyone know, hopefully we're going to try to do it tomorrow night. Had technical problems. But getting back to that, that's how I think thinking should be done, pantless.
Yeah, well, he was just, no clothes, because you call pants trousers, whereas pants for us is underwear. He was literally sat in his boxer shorts.
Yeah. I
think he was trying to show his new muscles off, to be quite honest with you. I think he was showing off a bit.
And there is a time and place for all of that. It's like when you're in your youth, you can do that. It's when you start getting further down the road that, we appreciate the modesty of clothes, because we can express ourselves much better.
Yeah, but he's pretty good. I'm going to get him on with me one night when he's like clear-headed and
good. That's interesting. Does he have just a natural propensity for it? Yeah.
Well, I think he just gets them out, and he sort of sees it as a bit of fun. But actually, he's been pretty accurate. He's never read a book. I'll pull a card and say, "What does this mean to you?" Like he knows none of the the book meanings, as in he's not read a book.
And he has a natural intuitiveness about it.
Yeah, but in a way, because I'm thinking like, oh, this, I don't know. I didn't know what to expect, but he's been pretty accurate.
As we're talking on this, I'm putting together a show on the millennials and the generations coming up behind that. And, we thought our generation, we were told, was lost in space. That was the great thing. I come from, the late 60s and the 70s. You're a little bit past that. But the 80s were really cool. Had a great time. Thought it was good music.
Yeah.
But what I keep on reading about is that millennials, they're searching. They're seeking something, and they're not finding it in religion. And I wonder how much that we could begin to pass on to them. And take Lewis, for example, a millennial. And in fact, he is a millennial.
98.
Yep. So I think about this all the time, that what I keep in being awe, I don't understand it. I don't understand how tarot cards work. I'm beginning to understand a little bit more about numerology. But there is a force and a power that's obviously behind that has an influence on how a person's life goes forward.
It amazes me sometimes how it works and how accurate they are, because I don't personally do particular spreads. I just read them like a story. Or I might do a 3-card spread or whatever. So,
but isn't that what it really is? It's a story in the person's life.
Yeah, I mean the major arcana are it's the Fool's journey, from the Fool right through to the World card. But yeah, just sometimes it still amazes me, but it just sort of happens.
So what do the cards say for us today on this great day?
Pull a couple of cards. I mean, we are now in, I was going to say numerology wise, we're in a personal year 9 now.
Okay.
So that's the year of forgiveness of the last 8 years.
Ah, interesting.
Anybody that's hurt you, let you down, whatever. It's a good year for humanitarianism, because we're 9s anyway. So it's like we might get involved more in humanitarianism. I call it a feng shui year. Declutter any relationships that are toxic or holding you back. This is the time to let them go. And if you don't, they'll probably be removed from your life. I don't mean death or anything, but situations will remove them, because next year we're going to a brand new 9-year cycle. I went self-employed on my last year 1. So it's going to be a brand new 9-year cycle. So this is a good year to get rid of, have a clear out. It's like clearing out your home, but it's your life and relationships in a nutshell. So I know I've got some forgiveness to do for certain people.
Well, Jeff and I talked on this on Sunday, oddly enough, and so there's a synchronicity. Actually,
I was listening to the replay before we came live, and I could so relate to Jeff. I haven't heard it all yet, but it's like these people are coming at you for no good reason, and you want to take action. You want to, and it is what is the right thing to do sometimes. Is it to walk away and just, or stand your ground? I've been dealing with a lot of that recently.
Yeah, and well, it's
hi to Mr. Owl. He's new to your channel, I think.
Okay.
He's a friend of mine.
Well, I think that this is what I see inside is that if people will begin on the forgiveness and begin to deal with that. And what I told Jeff, I taught him it's a form of magic, but it's a magic that brings in favor. And I don't think that there's a better gift that you can give any person than favor.
Yeah.
Particularly ones that have harmed you.
Yeah, I can get to that place of forgiveness, not necessarily straight away, but in time, I can get there. It just maybe takes me time.
Well, it's a discipline like anything else.
And it doesn't, like anybody listening, forgiveness is not, oh, everything's okay, now you come back in my life. No, it's like, if forgiveness is for you, so it frees you up to move forward. So you're not taking all the bitterness or the hurts or what or the pain with you.
It's like grabbing a hot handle. You do it one time, and you're not going to do it again. And that's how I've seen it. But I know once you start down this path, it's a place of cleansing.
Yeah, because I sometimes think, like, is it worth spoiling my day or feeling upset and angry when that person's probably just getting on with their life, you know?
I tell people all the time, don't let them rent the penthouse for free.
Yeah.
I mean, if they're really gonna be up there, then start charging for it.
Yeah.
But that's how I found it, and I think it's also a great way to prepare for the next great adventure in my life, even after this one.
Yeah. I did read something recently about, this is a theory I had about life path nines. I had this theory that this is our last time on Earth. Because
I have been telling people I'm not coming back.
Yeah, I had that theory, and then I watched another numerologist, and she said exactly the same. Life path nines, this is your last supposed time on Earth. You've done the full cycle. You're at the end of the line. That's why we've come in with so much wisdom and knowledge, because we've done it all before. We've got all the numbers.
I mean, I know this. I'm preparing more and more for that eventuality. And because I have determined I'm going forward with my eyes wide open, and no fear, no regret. And the mind naturally begins to want to resist this thought that this is going to end one day. It's inevitable. And so now is the time to prepare. And I believe, Tricia, forgiveness plays a major, I think it is the pillar by which everything else is based upon.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
I'm going to make a prediction. In my year one, I think I may move to another country. That's my prediction. I'm putting it out there now.
There you go.
I don't in the UK next year.
I will agree with that. So what do you pull up there for?
So we've got the Eight of Cups, which is ironic. So you see the man is walking away from the cups. So this is about walking, like I've just said, letting go of toxic relationships or people that are not serving us, or they're holding us back from being able to move on with our journey. So this is us walking away, leaving the past behind. So that's quite apt. Leaving any relationships behind that aren't good for us.
Excellent.
Then we've got the Queen of Cups. So this could be, like, for me, that could be like, she's the intuitive one. It can be Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, but she's the intuitive one. Yeah, she's very intuitive, very loving, very giving. Now, this might be you needing to be in your feminine energy and embody this, unless it's a lady in your life. It could be your wife that it represents.
Cool.
We're going to need this. This can be a card of self-employment, but it's also a card of standing up for yourself, not backing down. Like, people may see all these wands that are coming at. It's like, stand your ground.
I'm good at that.
Don't back down to other people, what people are trying to force you to back down. This is a card of not backing down.
I like that.
It's quite apt, actually. And this is a card of, right, if you can see here, the water's a little bit choppy.
Yeah.
And then it's all calm there. This is moving into calmer waters, calmer times, emotionally. So this could be literal movement. I don't know if you're planning on moving or thinking of it. This could be an actual movement overseas or over water, or it's just a literal moving away from turbulent times.
That resonates.
And then the last card is the Empress. This is the Aries card. For me, this is about us being in our power, because he's a very powerful man. He's a family man. I know I'm not male, but this maybe I need to be at times like the Emperor in his masculine energy. It could be a literal Aries man that is it in or comes into my life, or it could be that I need to be a bit more like the Emperor.
Ooh, I
And
like that card.
that would be like you, head of the family. He's powerful. But if you see, he's got armor on underneath, and then he's got this red clothing on top. So he's very passionate. It's an
That
Aries
card resonates with me. I'm getting strong psychic. Just wow.
Very powerful card.
Yeah, that's profound, Trisha.
So we need to be standing in our power. Or we're going to be taking our power back, or because to me,
Hi, Sandra D.
Hi, Sandra. This is about not backing down, being in our power. It's a very powerful card, that one.
It's
the Aries card.
Those 4 cards, did you see that? They all there was a unified theme in those.
What about
those 4 cards? The 4 cards you just pulled.
Well, I pulled this one.
Okay, all of them. Yeah.
Yeah. What was the theme for you?
Well, that one there, as I see that, and is that what is stacked on there? Is those chalices?
Yeah, they're chalices, cups. Yeah.
Okay.
Cups
Interesting.
represent love or emotions.
Yeah, and now he's walking away, right?
Yeah, he's walking away. He's going.
It's on his keys,
leaving these chalices behind.
But you see, that's the road of a wise man.
Yeah, yeah.
The thing I've had to learn in my life, you can't get attached to anything. Now, I know that may sound contradictory. I'm married. I love my wife. She is a vital part of my life. But I also know this, that when my time for departure comes, it's going to be just me.
Who's Max Spears? Why would them cards represent Max Spears? I'm just intrigued.
I don't know who is Max Spears.
I don't know. I was just intrigued.
Who is that?
He never walked away. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes you have to walk away.
Listen,
I
think sometimes it's truly the path of a magi, male or female, doesn't matter. The walking away is, to me, a cleansing.
Taking the high road.
Well, and seriously, and look at the sun that's up there. The sun is smiling, right?
Well, it's the moon, actually.
Is that the moon? Oh, well, that's even more powerful.
It's the moon.
That's even more powerful.
Sun, but it's the moon.
Yeah. Okay. Because I got I see that. That's even more powerful.
Yeah.
In ancient cultures, particularly if you look at the Sumerian culture going forward, the moon was the most predominant hierarchy on the pantheons. The moon is more powerful than the sun.
Yeah, I'm very drawn to the moon.
Yeah. Now, I know here in a couple of days we'll be at the summer solstice. Powerful time. It really is. If people get out and really begin to understand what's taking place, I think this could be a new step as well.
It's going to be an interesting month next month because there's going to be many planets retrograde. We're going to have Mercury retrograde. We've got Mars retrograde any day.
Can I say something about this Mercury retrograde? It sucks.
Well, we're Geminis. We're ruled by Mercury.
It's like, hey, if you're going to retrograde, do it in the 60s or something. That's all I got to say.
Well, it does it 3 or 4 times a year, Wayne. So we have to use it. But we're Gemini. Yeah. Geminis and Virgo are ruled by Mercury. So we've got Mercury retrograde. Mars will be retrograde. Venus, don't quote me if I got all this. Pluto, I think Venus. There's about 5 planets going to be retrograde that I know of.
For some reason, when you said about Mars retrograding, see, I don't see that as a negative. I see that as a sense of, well, I'll keep it to myself, but I think that can be used as a very powerful impetus to going forward. But that's just me. No, I don't know. Yeah. But 5 planets going in the opposite direction.
There may be more, but I know there's certainly 5 that's going to be retrograde next month.
Well, there's this underlying thing that I see with people. I mean, people are really like they're crazy out there.
Like I said, if there's anybody in the chat that's a life path 11, and I know there's many in there, the ones that are not truly doing the inner work, I've seen losing their heads. Like Sandra D is a life path 11. She does the inner work. That's why
and she works diligently at this. I mean,
Jeff and Sandra are both life path 11s. That's why things are going good for them, because they're doing the inner work.
Yeah.
They're working on themselves. I've seen people recently literally losing the plot because they're not doing the work. Particularly, I did say this last year, even before I joined YouTube, that 11s or people have 11s in their chart really is going to possibly affect them more. And it's been more than I expected.
I'm seeing something as well. I'm got lots of notes that I'm taking, but there's something. I mean, this is tangible. We had an incident here last Thursday, and a road rage incident. Here's what's freaking me out, Tricia, is that we're seeing more and more incidences of violence. I mean, there was a 23-year-old male who apparently got upset because a woman cut him off and come to find out she didn't. He tracked her down in the car, got out of the car, shot her, and then tracked and targeted her 2 children, and then shot another person. And you know what? He has absolutely zero remorse. Laughed about it.
Well, he's a psychopath then, isn't he?
Well, but my concern is that we're seeing more and more and more of this. And I'm actually writing, I just did the work yesterday, doing a program that you'll see here in the next couple of days, that we're seeing, I believe, an influx of human bodies, but they have no soul.
Yeah, I've seen people attacking on an assumption with no fact. It's an assumption in their head, and they attack. Like that man, for instance, that was an assumption.
Yeah.
I've had it personally, I've seen it done to others.
And I've seen it in conversation as well. People assuming something, and you try to talk and you say, but whoa, wait a minute. That's not even near what that was.
Yeah.
You know,
it's not in my consciousness, what you're assuming. Yeah.
And, today when we go out of our house, we just invoke a spell of protection around us, that because I think it's getting to the point where if you don't start having an understanding how to have a shield around you, it could get pretty brutal out there. Yeah.
Anya's always my friend, Anya that comes live with me. Have you seen Anya?
No.
You ought to have her on sometime.
Love to.
Yeah, she's you definitely should. She came over from Canada and she came to see me as well as a few other people. So we actually got to meet in person rather than
I love that.
Yeah. She's always reminding me, remember your protection. I have a little sign that's got glitter on it, because it's not what it says on it, it's the glitter to remind me.
Yes.
My glitter ball up, or whatever protection I put up, because I forget otherwise when I come live on here, particularly. I need to put myself.
I was taught this a couple of years ago, how to build the spear. And, once you can get the spear out to above your arm's length on each side, you've really begun to really invoke that spear of protection. And I'm a believer in it. I happen to see it. I happen to believe it.
Yeah, I forget all the time.
Well, you need to do that.
I know, that's why I have my little sign out as a reminder.
Well, everyone in here needs to do that. Listen, folks, we're all part of this. And, I enjoy seeing us when we get to meet. And I want to make sure that everyone can invoke that. You can do it. I mean, the fact that you generate a electromagnetic signal from your body shows you just how much that's true.
Yeah, because I feel people so much, even if it's someone I've never met. It could be in America, they could be in Canada. And we may not be having a conversation, but I pick up on them and I can feel how they're feeling or what energy they might be sending my way. And they may not, they may not be meaning to say, they might be sad, they might be down, and I can feel it. And I'm sure there's lots of people in here the same.
So, Tricia, I'm doing a research project right now, and I'll just show you. It's doing a comparison of someone who was born in 1818, 1918, and 2018.
Right.
And what I am finding is that people born 200 years ago were much more psychically in tune. And it's really odd because as I'm reading the stories, you'll find people who lived on the plains, lived very isolation, that they could sense when a family member was either ill or had passed on.
Yeah.
They could, go ahead.
No, I was going to say probably because they don't have all this other noise.
Yes. They could sense changes in weather and then begin to make preparations for that. And I find it so interesting that today we are discovering like this is also something so new, but it's not.
No, all this noise, and depending where you live, and that's why I don't watch TV. I don't watch the news. I try to reduce, I went what they call a negativity diet. I don't read the newspapers, whether that helps with, having a clear channel. I know when the sun,
it does.
I knew that my son was outside, even though I couldn't hear him. I got this feeling right in my stomach.
You see?
When he came home last night, and I didn't know he was, as in he'd not alerted me that he was home. And then I'll get this feeling in my body, usually down the left-hand side, and he rings me.
I love this. I work a lot of times in the house. It's very quiet. And I'm finding that more and more in that quiet time that, I don't know, for you, Tricia, it's like I'm stepping into this portal, and it's amazing because it immerses every aspect, every part of my being.
Yeah, some days I get up and I go outside and sit on the decking, and there's days when nothing's happening around me. It's really quiet, but it's like I can hear all this noise, or it's not noise, but it's an intensity of energy. And it's like, whoa, like I just want it all to go away because it's intense, and it's not like there's anybody even speaking to me at the time.
You know what it feels like to me at times? I'm biting into a live wire. And
that's a really good way to put it. Yeah. It's like, whoa, I just can't this. And you and I said the same. Can't this just stop for a day? Just give me a break.
That's what I practice on now. It's like, because I think as we clear out more and more, and I think forgiveness is the key part of that, just flush it out. Then what's going to replace that? Because nature abhors a vacuum, and something is going to be occupying in there. And I think as we begin to I love the one card, walk away from the trophies, walk away from all the cups, the things that validate your life, and say, no, I'm going to continue on with my life.
Yeah, I've walked away from, I thought somebody at my door. I've walked away from some very key relationships in my family because they were toxic.
That's really weird. Do you hear somebody in your house?
Yeah, sorry, my son's
I was going to say, I heard someone back there.
I'm like, sorry,
I was going to say, all right, we're going to get some of this power working. This has been fun. We meet typically every was it Tuesday or Wednesdays?
Wednesday. But you were going to change it to the weekend, so I don't know.
Yeah, I think we're going to try to do this on maybe like a Saturday afternoon, be evening your time, and
that's fine with me.
I think that would work pretty good there. So, and then I think when the fall gets there, and I can clear out some of my stuff. And this is really important to me. I'm going to make this one of the things that I really just want to clear out all the clutter.
Lewis and I have just done that. We had under the stairs, when we moved in a year ago, we had certain things just boxed that was like, we don't need them now, so they can go under there. We went through all of it the other day and we got rid of so much stuff.
Yeah. In fact, I can say I'm tired of stuff.
Yeah, and I still feel there's more that could go because like I'm quite a minimalist person. It's like the only thing I had a lot of was tarot cards and shoes.
I love that.
I didn't really
Uh,
collect things. Yeah.
well,
But
folks,
yeah, we had a real good clear out and it felt really good.
it's good. And I think that, as you were talking about, even with the fungi, fungi,
Feng shui or feng shui, as some people
feng
say.
shui. Yes.
Yeah.
I think that there's I think people need to see where you're sleeping at, and where your
Yeah.
head is pointing at.
And have
All
you
this.
make sure you got nothing under your bed? It's supposed to be clear.
That would be a very good point. Okay.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a clear channel.
Well, we're
Supposed
going
to
to
be
get
clear.
together here again. This is so much fun. I've missed this. It's just that, you see, we got to clear out some of the stuff.
Yeah. But life happens. Like you said to Jeff, got to be a bit flexible and go with the flow. Like,
Got to go with that river, man.
go downstream.
I see people so often become so regimented by a new discovery, a new knowledge. And so often what we find ourselves doing is that we find this new knowledge and we regiment ourselves to it. But that was the whole purpose why you got the knowledge to begin with, was not to.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Well, happy birthday to you, Trisha.
Happy birthday to you too. And it's been a great day so far already.
I love this. What have you done so far? Because it's about 3:30 your time there?
Well, like I say, I got flowers delivered at, what was it, about 11 o'clock with a cake and chocolates.
Ooh.
Which was a nice surprise. Then my hairdresser came at 12 and we had our hair done.
And you look quite beautiful.
Thank you. I try.
You do well.
There's some of the deliveries probably that are going to come today, maybe. But if they're late, it doesn't matter. We're going to have Chinese later. And yeah, just enjoy the day. My son's girlfriend, she was going to cook for us, but I said, oh, I'd like Chinese. And she's like, oh, yeah, okay, we'll have Chinese then instead of me cooking. So that was really nice.
Enjoy that. This is what it's all about. I deeply appreciate you. And we'll get our schedule out here because I know a lot of people love it.
And what about you? What are you doing for your birthday? You going out to dinner or anything?
We will. My wife is here with me, so we've got some activities planned, and the weather has changed here so wonderfully. It tells me, Heidi told me this when she first met me. She says, you can call moisture. And I've been practicing this. And so we've had a string of like 11 days that were in the mid to upper 90s. And I kept calling forth. I said, I'm calling forth the cool winds, bringing up the moisture. And now the weather pattern has shifted here.
Well, you can pray for rain, pray for rain, can't you?
Yeah, I can. Yeah.
And make it rain.
And then, when Heidi told me that, I just said, how did you know that? I didn't even know that.
Yeah, or the rain dance, they used to call it probably.
Yeah. And so anyway, folks, if you come live in Colorado, we're getting a little bit of rain. So, Miss Tricia, I will see you probably not this Saturday, but maybe next Saturday. Let us all know, and, we'll get back into some readings, and let's see about even inviting some other guests on.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll speak to Anya to see if she'll want to come on, because she does herbs and things like that. Yeah.
I think we ought to. I think, there are so many people here, and I know
not kill me. She's like, what are you doing?
I just know a number of people that we need to get on here, because I think this could be a good year for us. I think to learn from each other.
Yeah, she's very knowledgeable and she's very funny.
Well, good. Laughter doeth the heart is a good medicine. And if you folks aren't laughing, learn to laugh.
We went live last night and Lois joined us, and we were crying with laughter. It's hilarious.
See, that does more healing to a body than you could ever imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah. The other thing is learn to start singing.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
love music. I can't
Yeah.
sing, but I sing to myself.
Oh, my wife tells me, she says, that's the thing I love about you. She says, you get up in the morning singing and then you go to sleep singing. And I said, well, honey, I'm singing to you. So, anyway.
Yeah. A man that can sing to you, it's very attractive.
Hey, listen, men, learn to love and be in love with your significant other. That's the thing. Never stop being in love. That's just my little advice to everyone today. Well, Miss Tricia, let's hope that you find love in your life. It seems to be going around. So
maybe I'll catch it next.
I think it may be heading towards you. I mean, it does seem to be coming around. And I have a sense that any fellow that would make your acquaintance would be far better for it.
I agree.
Yeah. I like the song that Tom Petty sings. He says, "You got lucky, girl, the day I found you." And it's like, isn't that so well? I think about Sandra D and Jeff and
I'm really happy for them. It's really
Sue G and with Brian. So
Brian. And I've seen both couples of just coming together has made them more powerful than
and it's spreading.
But not just powerful, but they're glowing more. And
There's transformation taking place.
But coming together has made them more than they were. As they were great apart, but together they're even more powerful. That's
I see it in both couples. Great transformation. And I got a sense that the feminine has a great deal to do with that.
Yeah. I think both coming together, you bring the two.
Well, sure. Yeah.
The feminine energy. Yeah, definitely.
But see, I also like to cook. And I know that if you forget to put garlic in certain recipes, I mean, it's going to be good, but it ain't going to be really good. I'll have to cook for everyone then. When you come on over to this side of the pond here, young lady.
You'll have to cook for us.
Yes,
I'm vegetarian, so remember that.
Oh, that's all right. That's fine. Yeah. We got good vegetables.
That's cool.
Okay. Well, Miss Tricia, thank you. Everyone, thank you all.
Thank you, everybody that's joined us today. I do truly appreciate it.
Yes, and get over there. I didn't put Tricia's channel on there, but y'all know who it is. It's Tricia G, right? YouTube. Send her love, send her favor. We'll do the same. And maybe one day we ought to do a show. I think I'll talk to Jeff and I'm thinking about this. We could do a powerful calling down of favor on a very large community. Wow. Think about that, Miss Tricia.
I will think about that. You'll have to let me know.
Yes, I shall. All right, everyone. Thank you for the great birthday wishes for Tricia G. Tricia, do you want to say something before we get out?
I just want to say, think before you think. I can't get the words out. Think before you speak. If what you're going to say to somebody, is it really true? Is it kind? Is it? Yeah, and if it's not, then zip it. Don't go out there hurting people when
We've got to stop the curse, folks. And listen, the people that write terrible things and mean things, what is your purpose? Is it to inflict the pain that you're feeling onto others? All that is a perpetuation of insanity.
Yeah.
Why don't you love the person? If you write something negative about Trish, I'm asking you why. What makes you so damn righteous that you're above anything of any type of rebuke or any type of review? Stop it. Learn to simply walk in kindness.
Yeah. Yeah.
Breaks the spell, Catherine. You're absolutely right. Breaking the spell.
Yeah, there's a saying something about if it's not kind. Something about if it's not kind, then if you can't say something kind, say nothing at all. That's it.
Yeah, and when you said that, if it's not kind, give it no mind.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. My wife is standing there, so I got to go. Trisha, happy birthday to you. Thank you, everyone. We'll see y'all here real soon. All right. Bye-bye.